Captain in. There he is. Captain.
John!
What? I missed the cue. Hell yeah. Welcome to the show, everybody. Haven't done it in a while. I missed my cue there. I didn't quite have that down. What's happening? Good to be back. Good to be here in the snowy Mile High City, talking to the captain who's in sunny Southern California. And
am I, John? Am I? Have you not seen the new studio?
Oh, wait, let me see. Let's see. What is it? Big
Look at
Peter
this.
Energy Studio? I like it.
I'm in Burnham Yard. Look at Old Mile High in the background.
Oh, yeah. You're at Burnham Yard.
I'm at Burnham Yard just waiting for Big Peter Energy to arrive. Big
Peter Energy Stadium. I love it. So God bless the Peeners and all they do for us. We really love them. When they bring a championship back to the city of Denver, I shall pledge my undying support. They shall have my sword, and I can't wait for that. So,
hey,
how have you been? It's been a while since we've done a show, and I just wanted I call it a check-in and check-up because we got to do both here.
It's good. I'm glad you called it the check-in and check-up. I'm not sure if that was a reference to see if I've gotten fingered yet. I have not. That's the newest update. So, hey.
Well, I got an update on that too that we'll get to in a little bit. So, yes, it's good times. There's been a lot going on. A lot's been happening. You commented earlier that I was wearing my Denver Nuggets hat. We're not really going to talk about that because that's embarrassing, but I do love the hat. It's a wonderful chapeau. And it is my Denver contribution for the evening. And I don't know. We've got Broncos stuff to talk about. We've got colonoscopies to talk about. Plenty of things. So start it off. What do you want to go with, buddy?
I don't know, John. And like you said, there's so much to talk about. I've missed talking to my best friend, my brother from another mother, and we always find interesting things to talk about. The draft obviously was about the most interesting thing that has happened since then. But there's some other Broncos topics that we can talk about that I think will be fun, that will lead to other conversation, if you will.
Well, I think the main thing about the Broncos, if you want to lead with the Broncos, is they acquired Jalen Waddle, and that happened after the last time we recorded. So we would have to talk about that. I think. Giving up that pick for that took them out of I know it did. It took them out of the first round. So they didn't have any action to do. It's always it's so exciting when your team has a pick in the first round because, the marquee players are in there. So you want to see what they pick, but they didn't. But that's fine because they got Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle's very good. And I think he's going to fit in just fine with Los Broncos, don't you?
Los Broncos, I love that, especially after Cinco de Mayo. No, I think you got Cortland Sutton on one side, you got Jalen Waddle on the other. It was a smart play to give up picks for, and I hate to use this reference because I know you love Tom Cruise, but in Jerry Maguire when he says, draft picks are like popcorn, some pop and some don't. And at least you've got a known entity with Waddle.
Yep. I think so. I think they've, instead of taking, obviously the drafts always kind of a bit of a crapshoot, which, a crapshoot is kind of a misnomer. I think people say crapshoot, but if you're shooting craps, actually craps as a casino game has some of the better odds than let's say playing slots or anything like that. Just because you can back your bet, you can do things with it. So saying a crapshoot is a little bit of a misnomer, I think. But yes, you're right. So if you don't hit on your first round draft pick, well, at least they got a proven commodity in Waddle, which is going to be great. I think that's what they're going to need. So of course, the comments are already rolling in. Vinny Boombots is here for the hantavirus talk. I don't want to talk hantavirus. I thought I got hantavirus one time. It was 2019. This is pre-COVID. and I got really sick it was about this time of year back in 2019, and I got super fucking sick, almost had to go to the hospital and shit. And I don't know if wait a minute. Special guest arriving.
Get the fuck out of here.
There he is. There he is. I wanted to surprise you, Captain.
This was the best. Colin, we were just talking about you.
It's like your birthday. Only it's in May.
I am airtight between my two favorite people.
We got a Captain Broncos sandwich going on right here.
That's right. That's some meaty filling right there, baby.
Oh, it's meaty, my friends.
How the fuck are you boys tonight?
We're good.
I am more excited than John could ever relate. I got the whole South Stands Denver fan cast on the left and the right. I'm sandwiched between greatness.
I mentioned I was out seeing some people, and Colin was one of those people that I saw on Sunday. And I said, "Hey, Colin, I'm going to do a show with the captain." I said, "Maybe you should pop in." And he thought that was a great idea because he wanted to commiserate about his Nuggets. I said we weren't going to talk about it, but Colin can go ahead and talk about all he wants. So,
well, if I may, before we get started, for old time's sake, I want to do this. If you'll just humor me, podcasting from the Captain Broncos studios. This is the Captain Bronco Boozecast. I'm Colin Daniels with your host, Captain Bronco, and special guest, John Reedy. Yeah!
My
Let's
areolas
fucking
are
go.
so hard right now.
This is awesome. And what's best is Vinny's very upset because he thought he was going to be the guest, and then up pops Colin. So now he's very upset by this. So really,
sometimes you get upstaged. It happens.
That's right. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you're the featured player, and sometimes you're just you're just a bench player.
Sometimes you're in the cuck chair.
That's right. Vinny, you're on the cuck bench is what you are, Vinny. So yes, Colin, good to see you. I'm glad you could join us. We haven't done a show for a while because this is a Broncos show, but we like to check in and check up. So how are you doing? We like to check in with you.
Well, I'm sad because the entire month of May was supposed to be devoted to basketball, and now it's not. And really. The Nuggets were supposed to, they were going to lose in the Western Conference Finals to Oklahoma City, and we all knew that, but that wasn't going to happen until June. So I just feel robbed because, for example, game seven against Minnesota would have been Saturday at 5:30. I get off work at 5. I already had plans. I was going to go to Joe Willie's Sports Bar on South Broadway. I was going to watch the game there, and then it didn't happen. And then game 1 against the Spurs was supposed to be Monday night. That didn't happen. And now the entire month of May is just shot in the ass. Now, I understand we have the Avalanche, and believe me, I'm grateful for that. I'm counting my blessings, and they're wonderful, and they're doing exactly what the good Lord intended them to do. But not having basketball for the entire month of May and into June is patently unfair, and I think all of us fans feel robbed. And it's worse than just not having the games, because now they're talking about blowing up the team, and every asset's tradable except Jokic, and Jamal Murray's probably going to get moved, and Aaron Gordon's probably going to get moved, and they're talking about Kevin Durant, and I hate Kevin Durant. So it's really sad because the team had so much potential, and it's not really that they lost, it's how they lost and the way they got called out by Minnesota, by Jaden McDaniels, and they didn't respond, and they didn't seem to act as a team. And there's now Adelman is definitely not leaving. Apparently his job is safe, which makes no sense whatsoever. So it's just puzzling and depressing and kind of sad. And and I kind of want to shoot myself. But aside from that, happy spring, everybody.
Can you put that all in Broncos terms so the captain understands what you just said?
I was just going to ask Colin, because I am not a basketball person and I understand Colin's, plight watching his Instagram reels before I deactivated it today. But Colin, did you not get a sense, what was it, last year when they were starting to make some management changes and some other things with the Nuggets, that they were like moving in a different direction?
I thought I thought things were going to get better, not worse. And they had a wonderful regular season. They were one of the winningest teams in the NBA, and it was a very powerful offense, and they were improving on defense. And there was no indication that this is how it was going to go down. And what's really sad about it is Jokic himself, my favorite NBA player of all time, was sort of surly and kind of griping about every call and exhibiting the kind of behaviors that you just don't want to see from your favorite dude.
That he's just disenfranchised from what's going on internally with the team, you think?
I think he's disillusioned with the organization, and I think it's begun to go to his head. Like, one of the things that was so enjoyable about him was his humility, and I think that some of that has been lost.
Yeah, I love the fact that after you guys, won, he went back home and just was like, I don't need the hype. I went through the parade. I'm going home. I'm going to disappear because I care about my family and my friends and the team, and that's fine. But I got to go back and do my thing.
And that's still true, but he's begun to get a bit of that superstar. I think he's accepted himself as a superstar, and that's something he had not done before.
So here's where you can tell when people know they're getting beat because of how they react. And if you recall, when the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup last time, the Tampa Bay Lightning got real pissy, and they just knew they were getting whooped, and they just couldn't accept it. Their coach cried during a press conference because he said it wasn't fair, and like literally cried. And so I noticed this with the Minnesota Wild last night, is those guys were getting knocked around, and they were getting real pissy about it. So when you see a player's demeanor change, there's like, it's not going good, and it's probably not gonna come back.
Mm.
Yeah,
I feel for you guys.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, at least we got the Avs and we got the Broncos to look forward to. Still worried about our quarterback's ankle, though.
Don't worry.
Not real sure that's a good situation.
Well, let's talk about that. That's a good way to jump into some Broncos. We were talking about the Broncos and the draft, and how the draft is kind of like a big nothing because they traded their first round pick. But yes, I did see that. Bo Nix had a cleanup procedure. Cleanup procedures are pretty common with it. Not what you want to hear, obviously, but because you think somebody broke their ankle, he was walking around on it. How bad of a broken ankle could it be? Obviously enough to keep him from not playing, but he's got a cleanup procedure. You guys worried about that? Do you think that's going to linger?
Well, from all evidence, sorry, Captain, run you over. I haven't been on a podcast in a minute, so I'm verbose.
I could just listen to you guys banter all night.
Just verbose. No, I think that it's evident that if the rumors are true, he's had ankle problems really since high school. So I think it's going to be a concern moving forward. And of course, Sean Payton let that slip famously and kind of pissed him off. He wasn't real happy about that. But yeah, I saw an image, and God only knows these days, you see so much on the internet, and now with AI, you just don't know.
Can't believe it.
You just don't know what's true and what's not. But I saw an image of his ankle kind of not really looking like a human ankle. It looked more like a goat ankle, and it's worrisome. Definitely.
Well, wait. Now, if Vinny's still with us, if he didn't bail out, you can sound off in the comments, Vin. Vinny was a football player, and I know he's had a ton of surgeries. Maybe he can answer us if the cleanup procedure is a fairly normal thing for something like that. Yeah, I wouldn't trust too much of what you've seen on the internet, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm assuming that happened back in what, January? It was January when that happened.
Yep.
It's seems like that's probably fairly normal. They were saying Patrick Mahomes is way ahead of schedule and he's looking great. And I said, well, that's because he probably never got hurt in the first place, because we all know he's a big Karen and he doesn't want to be a part of a losing culture. So he just bailed out and said, look, I'm just going to step aside and not play anymore because I don't want to be on the field when we miss the playoffs, is what he was thinking.
Yeah, I'll tell you, as somebody who played collegiate tennis, and that's not football. It's a completely different sport. But somebody who played tennis for many years.
Did your boyfriend play too?
Oh, no, he was wearing the skirt. We were a fantastic doubles team. I'm left-handed, so aces were aplenty. But I will tell you, I have sustained enough ankle injuries from my 20s and 30s that it is problematic, right? And it does get in your head after a while. I think to your point, Colin, when Peyton brought that out, it was like, what the fuck are you doing? Because now you're decreasing his value, and you're doing that, it seemed like, as a ploy to reduce the amount of money you got to pay him later because he's got ankle injuries. But ankle injuries are fucked up, and how you recover them. It's kind of like Peyton Manning's neck injury. When we signed him, it was kind of like, we don't know what you're getting. Are you getting a Ferrari that's got a shell that looks great, but the engine's fucked up? We're not going to know, I think, until he gets on the field and we see what happens in preseason, at least for 1/5 of a play.
It was almost like Peyton put a bounty on his gate.
That's right. Vinny says cleanup is no biggie. So as someone who he
played real sports.
Vinny had a failed penis reduction surgery, and he had to have a cleanup at one point. And
totally can relate.
So yeah, he would know. So as someone who had an arm surgery in July, and probably about 4 months was probably about in November or whatever. It still doesn't feel right. So if you had a major ankle injury, I mean, it's still probably funky. That's like 4 months. I think he's going to be all good by the time they hit the field in August. So,
well, what I think too, you got to look at the Broncos' offensive line. Like, he did not get sacked a lot, and his mobility is key, obviously. But I think he also has to be more relaxed in the pocket so he can throw those deep passes. And that was one thing we just didn't get a lot of this year that he was accurate on.
Well, and who knew? I mean, I didn't think he had a gun the way he does, and he does. That kid can fucking throw the football down the field.
Yeah,
a lot. I mean, he doesn't look that big. He doesn't look like that dynamic, but he's got a cannon for an arm for sure.
Yeah, he just needs to get his accuracy up, right? And I think his ability to scramble is what makes offense or defenses hard to contain him. And that was part of the magic of this year, right? It's kind of like when the Padres are getting walk-off wins against the Rockies. Nothing against the Rockies. Glad they got big Peener energy behind them now. But, you're sitting here and you're winning games in the 9th inning. You don't want that. You want to win games handedly in the middle of the game. So, yeah.
So Vinny's saying the only real downside is Bo is 32. I'm not sure if that's the right age. Hey, Grok, how old is Bo Nix? Where's Grok? Why isn't Grok answering me?
Don't worry, I got Claude to the rescue.
Can you find out how old Bo Nix is? I think Bo Nix is late 20s, right?
Yeah, he's like 28. He's 28.
So that's a little. Yeah, you would hope he'd be a little bit younger than that.
He's 26.
26. So yeah, I'll take 26. How long did fucking Tom Brady play for? And like he was like 40 something. I mean, not that he's Tom Brady, but if he starts drinking his child's blood like Tom Brady does, then he could play. He's got Bo has a newborn. He could start drinking that blood.
Oh, so rough.
Well, that comment actually reminds me of something that I heard Colin Cowherd refer to when it came to Jokic, which is he compared Jokic to Taylor Swift in this respect, that Taylor Swift doesn't do anything vocally that's not sustainable long term. Like, she could have a Vegas residency at 55 because she doesn't really strain her voice. She's not a great singer. She just makes hits. And Jokic is kind of similar to that in his playing style. There's nothing about his playing style that's unsustainable long term. The guy could go 10, 15 years. He could have a very long career because he's not that athletic. He's not that physical. He's not straining his basketball voice, as it were. So in terms of having a long runway for a long career, somebody you can build around long term, he's got that. And so I think the Nuggets have a promising future moving forward as long as they know how to put the pieces in place around him.
I'm really shocked that you would talk about Taylor Swift like that. I know you're a big fan.
I'm with you, Colin.
Has your attitude changed towards Taylor? What's going on?
Well, certainly not. I mean, some of my most enjoyable moments of my adult life have been spent listening to or watching Taylor Swift play because of LA Baby. So no, I'm a devoted Taylor Swift fan to this day. For no other reason than she makes me feel young.
Hey, Colin, I will tell you this. I told my bosses the other day, I said, look, if the one thing I could do for the organization is to bring a Taylor Swift concert to the installation, I'm quitting after that because there's nothing more I can do for you.
That's a walk-off home run, Captain.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. I quit.
You guys have a real different definition of what is tolerable music.
It's not about tolerable, John. It's about enjoyability. Have you watched her videos when she's scooting back in the ballerina outfit? It's amazing.
No, I haven't. I did just see a thing about some background info on when Kanye West came out and took the mic from her. And, I do feel bad for her about that because that was her moment and she got upstaged. What do you think, Colin? Is the wedding going to happen? I heard the wedding was off. I know you're plugged into the Chiefs.
What?
I know you're plugged into the Chiefs and Travis Kelce.
I have not heard that the wedding was off. Tell me there's not a breakup.
There was a rumor. There was some cryptic message, some posting, and
Oh no!
You know what that stems from, John?
What?
It was the clip that I showed the other day on Instagram before I deactivated it, where Von Miller threw, Travis Kelce like a rag doll.
Oh, yeah, that was sweet. That was sweet.
All right, according to Google, reports that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding is off appear to be unsubstantiated rumors or speculation. The couple is still together, managing a high-profile wedding plan. Early rumors, debunked.
Okay, good. Well, I mean, not good for her. She's got to fucking be married to that lummox. I mean, that's got to be a grind, right? Like, wake up next to that guy and be like, oh, this dummy, Jesus Christ.
She is,
dude. But can you imagine
him?
Can you imagine what Travis Kelce's dick looks like, though? I mean, I bet it's fucking gorgeous.
No,
just amazing.
I guarantee you she's pegging in that relationship. She owns that shit. She's got the strap, using it regularly.
Look, I'm not saying he's not a physical specimen. A lot of those guys are. As you know, I'm a big fan of Jesse James Decker. And if you see Jesse James Decker's Instagram, I know you don't, Captain, because you deactivated, but she's got her beefcake husband Eric Decker jumping around all the time, and that guy can't be too much smarter than fucking Travis Kelce. And but he is a big hunk of man, and I can see why she wanted to scoop him up.
Yeah, but that guy was so epic when he was with us. I mean, come on, that guy was taking shots left and right like a fucking porn star.
Eric Decker was a great athlete. He was a really good receiver. Didn't work out for him in Denver, although their youngest child is named Denver. So I'm wondering if that was like a conception thing, like, Hey, the other kid's name is Sacramento for some reason. I don't know. So. But yeah,
at least Taylor's not banging Aaron Hernandez.
Oh yeah, true. Hey, so speaking of Aaron Hernandez and Mike Vrabel, they just had a thing and they were like, "Oh, they're speculating. That's the odds are looking Mike Vrabel won't be the Patriots coach because all this scandal with the reporter he was banging." And I was like, "Look, Mike Vrabel just took the Patriots to the Super Bowl. The owner of the Patriots was getting squeezers from captive immigrant women, and nothing happened. So I'm pretty sure he's going to still be the coach of the Patriots at the beginning of the season. Right?
Yeah, he'll survive. He'll survive that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
There's no way.
How is that possible, though?
What do you mean? How's it possible? Just for what I said, he just took him to the Super Bowl. You're going to take a guy who's a very good coach. As much as I dislike the Patriots, I think Mike Vrabel's a great coach. Just went to the Super Bowl.
That Super Bowl was not good. It wasn't a good Super Bowl.
I'm not saying the results were good, but he got them there, right? He got them there. They almost had a better record than the Broncos. The Broncos just snuck in front of them just at the end. So Mike Vrabel did a great job coaching, took them to the Super Bowl.
That's because he was having relations. Now you take that out, he's not going to be any good.
Robert Kraft getting squeezers.
That's true.
Getting secret squeezers. That guy, nothing happened to him. So you think they're going to punish Mike Vrabel and be like, look, you're a great coach. All the players love you. But you know what? You had an affair that has nothing to do with how the teams will perform. Sorry, buddy. You gotta go somewhere else. There's
New
no
England
way
has no scruples. That whole area has no scruples.
Well, think about it. Aaron Hernandez. If Aaron Hernandez fucking wasn't like super like pretty much telling everybody that he was killing people, they probably would have just kept him playing. I mean, he just would have kept going with the Patriots. So
keep the killings on the down low, Aaron.
Yeah. Can you keep that? I'm getting squeezers from captive immigrant women, and no one knows about it. Aaron, can't you just kill people without having people know? So
not in this day and age. Look at Vrabel. They were getting like 100x zoom on an iPhone in a hot tub.
Wouldn't you love to know who did that, by the way? That's
totally.
That's about that story. That's what about that story I really want to know. Like, who the fuck followed him to that resort and got the drone footage and found out that he was
and knew it was Mike Vrabel at the same time, right? Like, if
Diana Racine, they followed them there for sure.
Absolutely.
And of course, then additional footage came out later of them at a bar at a nightclub.
Well,
where like 2 years earlier, he was banging her for a long time.
And isn't her kid named Mike too, which is fucking phenomenal?
Yes. Yeah, But here's the deal. This is the important part. It's like obviously her role in this is a little odd and might be a little compromised because is she going to report accurately on anything involving Mike Vrabel or now the Patriots? But as far as his thing with it, I mean, other than him dealing with his family and him looking bad for doing this, there's not really that big of an issue with it, right? I mean, it's just two people had an affair. So why are we even giving it any second thought?
Well, what was that one guy from the medical company who got caught at the Coldplay concert? Like, they both got canned, and Vrabel survives this. Like, the duality of this is problematic.
Nah, those people didn't get canned. I think someone resigned.
Oh, no, they did. They both got fired.
Yeah,
I mean, they were given the option to resign, but no, Vrabel is not. I mean, it's the Patriots. They're the scummiest organization in pro football. They're not going to cancel his ass. Now, Rossini, she's done because
she got fired.
The difference is her profession is to get scoops in an honest way from sources in the NFL. Now, if you're banging the source, that obviously it's a bona fide occupational requirement that you not do that. So she's done, obviously. But as far as he's concerned, no, I don't think they'll let him go. But I also think that every single time he faces the media, it's going to be uncomfortable for him. So I wouldn't be shocked if he decided to walk away on his own.
He got a standing ovation at the season ticket holder meeting.
No way, because the Patriots control that. They're going to have him trot out and fucking answer a few questions about it before the season, and then they're going to say, "Don't ever talk about it again." Now listen. When the Sean Payton sex tape comes out, sign me up. I want to see his Hank Hill ass fucking humping.
Have you seen his wife?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
she's way too hot for him. Yeah. Way too hot for him.
Isn't her name like Gayleen or something weird like that? Somebody look that up. Sean Payton's wife has a real weird name.
It's Giselle.
It's like
Total
Giselle.
stripper name.
It's like Galen or like it's something really fucking weird and like Southern. Yeah, it's odd, but yeah. We once Sean Payton fucking gets involved with this, then I'm going to be calling for moral clauses, and I want him to resign, and I want him out of there.
It's Skyline Montgomery.
Skyline Montgomery, yes.
Okay, Colin. I need.
She was Miss West Virginia, 2008. Yep, and she was a nurse. That's hot.
Colin.
Galen is my pet name for the captain, actually. That's what I was saying.
He's gay and chubby, not gay and lean.
That's right. That's right.
Gay chubby Bronco. Gay chub Bronco.
I'm a chubby little cub bear. Hey, Colin, here's what I need you to do just for the show edification. I need you to do your best stripper introduction voice for Skyline Montgomery at, name your strip club. Now coming to the stage.
Gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Skyline.
I am throwing all the dollar bills there.
Dunk, 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 Skyline, yeah, baby.
Nobody is ever sponsoring this podcast, and I love it.
Skyline's definitely a West Virginia name. I think that's like if you look up those charts of popular baby names, I think Skyline is number 2 in West Virginia.
It's big Skyline country. Yes.
It's good
What
stuff.
were you doing when you named that child? It was like, I don't know. I was looking out the window. I was leaning to the left. I saw the sky. Skyline. Skyline.
Skyline.
Thanks for picking that up, Colin.
It was Jolene at first, but I would have been wrong. So, anyway, so, hey, you know what? Coaches they're going to get out there and they're going to cheat on their wives. And I guess that's for him to deal with. I'm sure, just like what's his name? Dave Grohl. Remember Dave Grohl?
Oh God, how did he not get canceled?
Well, yeah. Well, how are you going to cancel him? He's a musician and everybody loves him. So he has to deal with that in his personal life. He has to go back to his home and go, "Hey, everybody, you've got another brother." And he's, because I fucking banged some woman on tour, a year ago.
Well, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Like he banged the maid, right, and just produced. I forget the guy's name. A nice looking kid, but you're like, you banged the ugliest maid. Like you're Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Wait a minute, that wasn't the kid who was in the White Lotus, was it? Or he's a Schwarzenegger? I think.
No. God, what is his name? I can't remember it, but he's a bodybuilder.
Anyway, I'm not condoning what they're doing, but all I'm saying is that's between them and their wives and their families. They're going to have to look their kids in the eye and go, "Hey, yeah, we're and how do we know that they don't have some special relationship set up?" This is the whole thing. Like when Bill Clinton got caught cheating, I was like, how do we know that maybe Hillary just said, "Look, I'm going to go over here and have sex with whoever I want. You do your thing. We're just going to stay together for the political aspect of it." But they would never come out and say that because that just seems weird and funky, even though nowadays it might seem normal.
I agree, but my thing is the consistency in the cancel culture, right? Like if the cancel culture is going to say this is okay, but this isn't, like you got to be consistent in that aspect.
Absolutely. So if Dave Grohl can just keep going on stage and rock and rolling, then Mike Vrabel should still go and get beat by the Broncos this year in the AFC Championship game.
Agreed.
Right?
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable conclusion.
Yeah, so I don't know. Captain, what else you got in your AI notes?
Oh, so many things. Burnham Yard. I would love to.
What does Claude have to say?
Claude, God damn it, I love Claude. She's my best friend. Burnham Yard, let's talk about that. I would love, now that new details have come out about the stadium, the pricing, and all the things going along with that. How do you all feel as Denver residents? I feel like Empower Field, or whatever it's called now, has had a short lifespan in the realm of stadiums, right? So they're moving to a retractable stadium. John and I talked about this, but the fact that the taxpayers don't have to do it because Big Peener Energy is going to pick up the tab is a good thing. It's going down to Burnham Yard, but I also think downtown is also already congested. What are you guys' feelings about that having a fan base impact for the vibe?
Well, it's interesting you should ask because I've got a lot on this. First of all, the Big Peener Energy is definitely paying for the stadium, but that doesn't mean that the city's not going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars. First of all, the 6th Avenue Viaduct and the 8th Avenue Viaduct are both going to have to be replaced, and that's going to cost hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars per viaduct. So in providing infrastructure, both for that stadium and the new Denver Summit FC stadium that's being built where Gates Rubber Company used to be, the city will be investing much money because they have to build the roads in and out. That said, I couldn't be more relieved that it's actually going to be in the Denver metro area or at least in the heart of Denver, because there was a lot of talk about the Broncos having to move out into Lone Tree or Centennial or near DIA to make this happen. So the fact they're infilling is great. What's interesting about it, though, is that once they vacate the property where the stadium is now, that's going to be the most valuable piece of property in the entire city or in the entire state of Colorado. And it belongs to an 8-county consortium called the Denver Stadium District. So these 8 counties are going to sell that property. It's going to be developed, and it overlooks downtown Denver. It's just a massively valuable piece of dirt. And then across the highway from there, you've got Elitch Gardens, and Elitch Gardens is going to be redeveloped and moved out near where Dick's Sporting Goods Park is now. So by the time John and I are pushing up daisies, this city will be
2031. That's when they're saying it's going to be done.
Well, no, the stadium will be done, but the redevelopment of the other 2 sites won't be. It's going to be called the River Mile, where Elitch's is now, and they're expecting the 2 largest residential towers in the state to be built there. And then whatever happens across the highway, downtown's going to be unrecognizable, and the whole Ball Arena development that's already planned, they're getting rid of the surface level parking lots and putting mixed use in through there and parking garages and new residential towers in addition to the River Mile stuff. So more urban density, more urban living, and just a huge transformation of the skyline and the city itself. So over the next 30 years, between now and the time John and I die,
why are you announcing my death? I don't know why.
Well, okay, I'll be dead. I'll be dead before you, but I don't think you're going to live past 85, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you will. Maybe you will.
I don't want to. I've seen it.
No, I don't either. It's miserable. But no, over the next 30 years, the city's going to be completely transformed, and it kind of all starts with the stadiums. That's what's interesting about it, is that all of these other development plans kind of all tie to the stadiums. The old Gates Rubber Company complex that's been vacant for decades now is going to be where the new soccer stadium is for the Denver Summit Football Club, and then the new Mile High and the 2 new viaducts and all of that. It's really fascinating to me, just kind of the way the face of Denver is going to change as a result of all this. Not that it matters to you, Mr. fucking Temecula.
Colin, I don't know if you know this. I've relocated. I'm actually in Burnham Yards in the Big Peener Energy studios. You can see behind me.
I live in the basement under the Buckhorn Exchange.
Well, let me jump in. That's great information. Yes, stadiums are very important. We saw what Coors Field did for Lower Downtown. A lot of people didn't want to pay for that. It did end up revitalizing that part of the city. Where the Broncos play now, it's not really, there's not much there for people to kind of like build around. They will do that with the new location. You said, Captain, it's downtown. It's not downtown. It's south of downtown.
It's adjacent though.
What's that?
It's adjacent.
It's probably, I mean, it's close. I mean, it's probably
How
like
far is it away from Union Station?
I mean,
About
like,
2 miles.
well, but on if you took the light rail from where it is, I mean, it's probably like a maybe like I don't know, 10-minute train
Yeah,
ride to the
it's about
station,
right.
right?
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
right by 8th and Osage Station, right there.
yeah. So where the Buckhorn Exchange. I mean, if you know what that is,
Yeah.
it's gonna be right around there. So it's probably closer to it's probably it's in between like Alameda and Colfax, basically. Wouldn't you say, Colin? In kind of like
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
basic way. So I mean, Colfax is pretty close to downtown, but it's definitely south of that. So it will be, it'll be interesting how they fit it all in there. But obviously, they're the Peeners. We love them. We worship them, and we will pledge our lives to them once they win us another Super Bowl. But they're going to do it upright because with everyone says how great SoFi Stadium is. Well, they're not going to let that rest. They're going to make it even better than SoFi.
Can I tell you, as a resident in that area, about SoFi and what it's done for that area? So they totally nuked a horse race track, a good horse race track area, and it has led to, and this is why I asked this question for fans, because that's what I am. Parking is now $100, if not more, and if you want to tailgate, $200. So does building the stadium in this area reduce the impact for fans like ourselves, or groups that we know, like that used to be around, Sons of Mile High, to do a tailgate and get people pumped up about the game? Does that limit the access to the area, and do you think like people are going to use mass transit to get there? Because we did that with Qualcomm, and they built a light rail system, and now it's the San Diego Football Club. And I don't think it's utilized as much as it could be. We don't have the infrastructure that
people hate public transportation because it sucks. But that's what they're going to build this around. That's the vision. That's the vision that these cities are built on. They believe in public transportation. They believe in the whole Vision Zero concept. And that's what this is going to be built around. So as far as tailgating with your fucking Jeep, I don't think it's gonna be that convenient. It's gonna be very expensive to do that, but there will be light rail lines in, there'll be buses in, and all of that kind of shit. That the vision that these cities have is that people are going to leave their automobiles.
Yeah, it's rev gen, right? Like to your point, it's like, it's revenue generation. It's not about zero impact to the environment. It's I'm going to get money from light rail. I'll get increased money from parking, so I can fund whatever businesses are going to get taxes from,
I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty big area, but I don't know how the parking's going to get set up. When Colin mentioned parking garages, I was thinking about the Rhino area. Captain, when I saw you the one time, you guys were at that bar I met you at down in that area. That's one of the worst places to go and try to park in the city because it's packed. There's nowhere to park. There's tons of people who want to be there. If they built parking garages, then there'd be so many more people could actually access it. So I'm sure that's what it's going to be. Mile High now is all surface lot, right? It's all just like flat land.
Yeah, service lots are a thing of the past.
Yeah, they have to be because it's just not going to work. So it's just going to be big ass high rise parking garages because they're going to need several of them to fit in there. But yes, I think they're going to definitely try to get people to ride trains and stuff. Light rail is going to go right through there, so I don't see why that shouldn't be a convenient thing for people. The light rail now goes to Mile High, but once you get off, you got to walk probably.
Yeah, because it's on the.
It's a fucking hike. Yeah, it's on the southeast side, and it's a fucking haul. Ball Arena, you're right there. You're right there at the entrance, and it's great, except for the fact that there are fucking junkies and guys fucking jacking off. And I mean, it's bad. There are really bad people, and they ride that fucking thing all day because it's a de facto homeless shelter.
Colin, my favorite post by you is everything that goes on by your shop and everything that you talk about to try and rectify it. I feel your pain as a business owner and the things you have to deal with, but they are strictly comical for like the things that you post about what's going on specifically.
Yeah, there's no honest solution that doesn't violate the Geneva Convention.
when I rode the light rail down, I think I was going to go see an Avalanche game with like Manders or something like that, and I was meeting him down there. And these two dudes got on and just were openly smoking weed, like on the light rail right next to me. And I was like, well, thank God it's weed. Because if it was anything else, I'd just have to get up and move. I don't want to breathe that in. And the weed, I was like, no problem. But it was just like, free for all. So that's what you get with the city. It's fine. When everyone's packed in the train, coming back though, I don't know. There's not much room for the crazy people to maneuver. I think they're going to get tossed off the train pretty quick. So
not to quickly change the subject, but to quickly change the subject. Yeah, a couple of days ago, I had an experience that I was anticipating would happen to me one of these days, and I want your feedback on it, guys.
Is this a colonoscopy?
No, that was a few months ago, and I loved that. That was great. It's a nice feeling to be completely on E. This guy is coming toward me on the sidewalk on one of these bicycles, and he's doing the wheelie thing where they dive around you, and they like come right up at you and then dive at the last second. And I've seen a lot of this happen on social media, whatever, but it actually happened to me. This young kid, he's probably, I don't know, 19, 20 years old, and he's on this it was a bicycle. It was not an e-bike, it was a regular bicycle with large wheels, and he's riding right at me, and like I thought he was gonna fucking hit me, and then at the last second he dove around me. And of course, as soon as he went past me, my instinct was I wish I had pushed him the fuck off that thing. Because it's just, I mean, that's an assault. That's assault. That's what it is. I was terrified. And the fact that my physical safety I was concerned about, that constitutes assault. And I wanted to assault him back. I just wonder, like, if that happened to you, like the guys riding, you've seen these videos where these guys are dodging cars and dodging people. That was the first time it happened to me. And if it happens again, that motherfucker is going to the pavement. I'm telling you, I'm going to bury his shoulder in him and fucking knock him down.
I don't think you're in the wrong doing that. I think if someone's coming at you, and what's funny is because like you're thinking like if you're doing that, you're like, the people could be like, I'm going to freak out. They're going to hit you anyway. So it's very like you're kind of taking your chances doing it regardless. But I think if like you waited till they just weaved out of your way and you leaned into them a little bit, I don't think there's anybody's going to convict you over that. I think you're going to be fine. So, is your guys' e-bike problem as bad as it is here?
Oh, dude! And they use the term e-bike incorrectly. There's a category of product called e-moto, which are dirt bikes. They're dirt bikes. They're motorcycles. That's what they are. And they don't have pedals. They're not e-bikes. They're motorcycles. And yes, they're everywhere. And I'm sure they are there in the Los Angeles area too. And they ride wheelies down, 13-year-old kids, no helmet on.
Yeah.
No lighting, no headlight, no taillight, no turn signals. And they're riding down the middle of major streets and doing takeovers on these things. And luckily, recently in California on the Oakland Bay Bridge just last weekend, they corralled a whole bunch of those guys, and they're on ATVs and all kinds of other stuff too. But it's starting to wear on the nerves of law enforcement. They're starting to do something about it.
I will tell you from my perspective, like I walk my dogs in my normal middle suburban American neighborhood next to a high school, and the kids, to your point, some of them are younger than, I would say 12 years old, sometimes 9. And because they ride these bikes, they feel like they're entitled. And they get themselves into positions, to your point, Colin, where I feel like I'm either going to hit them, which makes me nervous because I don't want to kill a kid, but they're just driving recklessly and there hasn't been any rules or justification. Law enforcement isn't enforcing it. And I think that's the problem I have, is that someday something catastrophic is going to happen. Yeah, I know.
And this is a podcast in and of itself, but eventually it's going to have to involve the Consumer Product Safety Commission. They're going to have to you remember 3-wheelers from when we were kids in the 80s. They had to shut those down. They're going to have to shut down the Emoto stuff. It's going to happen. It's only a matter of time.
How do you shut down big wheels, but you don't shut down e-bikes? Like, that is a problem.
It's coming. It's coming. It's only a matter of time. Consumer product safety is going to step in. And eventually, like when it comes to the ATVs and the motocross bikes that we see wheeling all over the place, the dealerships, the people that sell them are going to have to be held responsible, along with parents. It is a problem. It's a problem nationwide in big cities all over the country, and it's nasty.
Yeah.
Sports.
Sports.
Hey, to bring it back to sports, because I know we're at 50 minutes. Can we talk about the 2026 schedule in front of us?
Well, you got this 2026 schedule?
Well, I have some of it, but I think it's very interesting. Look, we're going to be playing the Bills and Dolphins and Jaguars and Seahawks, but they're literally thinking about putting the season opener on Sunday with the Bills and the Broncos as a season rematch for the home opener. I don't know what you guys feel about that. I think it's great, especially with Bo Nix hopefully being healthy. I'm very excited about that.
That's fine. That's a pretty good matchup. I mean, I'm sure their schedule is probably pretty tough, right? Because of where they finished.
Yes.
Right.
49ers, Cardinals, Jaguars, Seahawks, Rams, and the typical AFC West people.
Yeah.
Patriots are in there.
That sounds pretty tough. They'll get the Raiders. They'll get the miraculously healed Patrick Mahomes twice in the season. He's miraculously healed. Chris Collinsworth is his visible erection through his street hands, talking about what a wonderful healer Patrick Mahomes is. It's fine. I don't know.
This is a guy.
You know what? It's always like, hey, I don't care who it is. Like people are like, ooh, who do you want the Avalanche to play? I'm like, man, I don't care. They gotta rip through anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. They gotta work them over. So you know what? If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So let's go. Fucking bring them on. Bring them all on.
Colin, how do you feel? Because I got a follow-up question to this.
Well, with regard to the Bills, I feel one way, and I always have, and I always will, and that is that Josh Allen should be our quarterback, and fuck John Elway for not making that happen. Bradley Chubb bounces from team to team. I think he's still with Miami. I don't know, but we drafted him ahead of Josh Allen, and in 2017, the Broncos could have hired Kyle Shanahan and drafted Josh Allen. We could have been Kyle Shanahan, Josh Allen for the last 7 seasons. So that's still devastating to me. I'll never get over it. But being what it is, I admire the Bills and I admire Josh Allen. I think it's a great team, and if we could beat them in the home opener, that would be a thrilling and wonderful start to the season for sure.
I was just told before your follow-up question, Captain, that just reiterated that Kyle was very much considered to be the coach, but
I would love to know the backstory to that.
The fucking Joe Ellis and I can't think of the other guy. Someone told me this in a message, and because we were looking at something, he'd sent me a video, and he said they hate Mike Shanahan so much, and
why?
Whatever, I don't know. They don't get along with him. They don't like him, and they just knew that he'd be part of it if they hired Kyle. Mike still has a lot to do with San Francisco, right? So he still has a way to kind of check in there. And they just said he said they just hated him so much that they knew he'd be part of the package deal if they got Kyle. So those douchebags, Joe Ellis and I can't remember the other guy. He said. We're the reason why that we don't have Kyle, and probably because we don't have Josh Allen either, and the reason why we got Vance Joseph as the head coach for
Kyle Shanahan, Vance Joseph, Vance Joseph.
Literally the worst period of football. I mean, look, I don't want to disparage what he's done as a defensive coordinator. Like, I'm all in. as a DC. He's the greatest DC since Wade Phillips.
No, wait a minute.
Wait, no, come
Wait,
on.
what?
How can you deny? How
many of
that?
those beers did you drink?
Huh?
Dude, he's terrible. He is.
No, wait a second. How can you say that after his prediction? This is how many beers I've had. I've had 11 percenters.
He is terrible.
He's having the time of his life. That's all that matters.
All season long, they would have somebody just work him over, and then all of a sudden they'd go, well, maybe we should stop that guy. And then they would get their shit together, and then they'd win by a field goal.
I would agree.
Vance Joseph.
Yes, I would agree. Second half miracles from the defense making adjustments were a reason why we won football games. Yes, I would agree with that. But let me do the follow-up question. Fernando Mendoza with the Raiders. Is this fucking guy going to have an impact, or is he going to be another dud?
Well, as you know, I don't pay attention to smooth, hairless boys until they become the
SHBs,
the hairy men of the NFL. So I have no idea. I barely know who that is, and I have no idea if he's good or not. I imagine he's good because he became the first pick, but I couldn't tell you because I have no idea. I'm guessing he's not going to have the time of his life being the quarterback.
Not in that organization.
He's part of the worst organization in football besides the Jets. So, yeah, he's done. Dunzo. In fact, his next team will probably be the Jets when they finally trade him. So
that's right.
I do think it was interesting. The guy's a class act, from outward appearances, right? Like, he decided to not go to the draft because his mom, is dealing, I think, with Parkinson's. NFL decided to have Peyton Manning engage with him and say, "Oh, come to the draft." And he said no to Peyton Manning. I don't know if I'd say no to Peyton Manning if he invited me to anything.
You say, see, old lady, Peyton Manning.
Yeah. I wouldn't say no to Peyton Manning if he asked me. I wouldn't say no to him if he asked me for a rim job.
Yeah, and he was like, nah, I'm going to stay at home. And in Pittsburgh, where they had the largest attendance for an NFL draft ever, what was it, like 800,000, which is ridiculous. I don't know. I just thought it was a very interesting concept that here's a guy who seems to seemingly be a good person on the surface because that's his family and everything comes first. And then he signs with the fucking Raiders.
He didn't have a choice. It's not like you go.
No, Colin. They always have a choice. I mean, look at exactly what happened to Manning number 2. He got signed by
Elway. Yeah,
he got signed by the Chargers, and Elway was signed by the Colts, and they both said, "Go fuck yourself." So why would you sign with an organization that has a tarnished reputation of a shenanigan?
Because you like to play blackjack. That's why.
Yeah. He's
the Shohei Ohtani of the NFL.
Go to the Spearmint Rhino. Yeah.
He's big into all those video slot machines that Snyder likes to play. I don't know, where's he from? Maybe he's from Southern California. It's easy to get back to it, see his mom. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't dig that deep into it, but I thought it was like, oh God, this guy's an interesting cat. He cares about his parents and all the rest of it, but he gets drafted by the Raiders, and the Mannings literally said in 2 different instances, go fuck yourselves to the teams that drafted him. I'm going someplace else.
You know what cracks me up, John, just as a quick aside about Snyder, is Snyder's convinced he's good at slot machines. He thinks he's good at slot machines. He's got a skill, an ability, a special God-given gift for slot machines, which use a random number generator. I love it.
I'm definitely bad at them, so if I can,
so am I.
At them, maybe he can be good. I don't know.
What were you trying to teach me on, John, that one night when I was completely trashed and I couldn't remember a single thing?
Well, I was just trying to show you how to play a video roulette.
Oh, it was roulette. That's what it was.
And that's pretty basic, But you were like. Your eyes went black like a demon possessed you. You're just like, and I was like, I think it's time for you to go to bed, buddy.
I got to go back to my famous tower in the Excalibur.
So anyway, hey, we're at an hour. We should probably wrap her up. So it's good stuff. It's good checking in with you guys. We'll see what the the next month of sports holds. Hopefully we got another Stanley Cup coming to us. I'm hoping that's the case, and we'll know about that soon. Sorry about the Nuggets, Colin. I know you were looking forward to playing watching some basketball, but I mean, it's not, but I just want to say you're kind of acting like a Chiefs fan. You got spoiled with like a good run of the Nuggets. And now you're like expecting to have this, right? Like the Chiefs.
I do. Yeah.
But no, it's good stuff. What's closing comments, fellas, and then we'll wrap it up.
I'll let Colin start.
Okay. Let's enjoy the beauty of spring and the beauty of summer, and go Denver Summit Football Club Women's National Soccer League team. I'm so excited. The games are terrible, but I'm super excited for the girls. Let's go.
I've been watching some of those games. I like them. I'm glad they're building that stadium in the city. It's going to be great. I talked to my buddy D Wise, and he was kind of like, "Yeah, I don't know how to go." I said, "Dude, they fucking sold out Mile High Stadium. People are fucking ravenous for it. They love it. So I don't think it's going to fail. I think it's going to do real well.
No, they're going to do great. Yeah, and some of them are really, really cute. So go girls.
There you go, Captain.
John, I would just like to echo Colin's statement because it's Ted Lasso related. The new season of Ted Lasso, season 4 was announced, and it's specifically focused on women's football. So now you have to get into it because you acknowledged that you liked it. So I expect some good commentary about it.
Listen, first of all, I'd watch the Summit over the Rapids any day, and I have. I've watched Summit games. People who are into Ted Lasso are lassholes, okay? And the reason why they're lassholes, and I've explained this, maybe Colin, you don't remember this.
I do.
Ted Lasso made a homophobic joke at the expense of Bronco fans on the show. Jason Sudeikis is a big Chiefs fan in real life.
He lives in Kansas City.
He took the time out to write in a homophobic joke about Broncos fans, and it was really lame and shitty. And people like the captain here, who calls himself Captain Bronco, was like, "Oh, you fucking Jason Sudeikis, you're so funny. You got our number, buddy. Oh, that's so good. Fuck that. Fuck him, and fuck Ted Lasso." Okay.
Look, John, yes, I agree. The commentary on the Broncos sideline was terrible, but I will say the show itself, you got to take the show in its entirety.
This is not a referendum on the value of Ted Lasso.
Okay, then I will leave it alone.
Listen, you couldn't pay me to watch that show. Okay,
it's a good feel-good show. Colin, have you watched it?
Yes, I've watched it.
It's good, isn't it? Colin, tell me it's good.
It was good. It kind of trailed off for me.
Listen, you guys.
First couple seasons, whatever.
If you guys are fine with making homophobic jokes about Bronco fans, that's fine by me, guys. I'll remember that next time we do a show about the Broncos. Maybe you won't be included. Okay. Maybe it'll just be me. Maybe it'll just be me talking because I don't take
Sandy Club style for like an hour and a half.
I don't take my fellow Bronco fans for granted like you guys do. So that's all I got to say.
Hey, first of all, thank you both. I mean, this was the best surprise I could ever ask for, having you both. No, fuck you too, Colin. But having you both in between me, making me airtight. It was the biggest surprise and the greatest time I could have asked for during the season. So
thanks to everyone for tuning in yet again. It's a good time. Nice to see everyone. And we'll get your ass in the jackpot back here real soon. So for me, the captain, and Colin, this has been the Broncos Booze Up. Adios. Got to hear the preppy summer line.
It was a preppy summer with the heart of plenty.
I had a preppy summer story I forgot to tell. Next time.
that's a June checkup.
See you later.